Dear viewers, Namaskar. Bande Utkala Janani. Wish you all happy Utkal Divas. Welcome to this edition of the News Bulletin. In the headlines today, Rourkela Steel Plant pays homage to great leaders of Orissa on the occasion of Utkal Divas. Our mind is our greatest asset. Let's train it to see opportunities instead of obstacles, exhorts Mr. Atanu Bhaumik, DIC, to RSP Collective. And winner of Padma Shri Award, Professor Dr. Prokar Dasgupta, felicitated by SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant. Happiness in life is more important than success, Professor Dr. Prokar Dasgupta says. Now the news in detail. Rourkela Steel Plant joined the entire state in celebrating Utkal Divas on 1st April. Mr. Atanu Bhaumik, DIC RSP, Mr. A.K. Kundu, Executive Director Mines, Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, Executive Director Works, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, Executive Director P&A, Mr. C.R. Mahapatra, CGM in charge MM and Marketing, Mr. A.K. Behuria, CGM in charge F&A, along with other senior officers and employees of the steel plant, offered floral tributes at the statues of the great leaders and patriots. They garlanded the statues of Utkal Mani Gopabandhu Das, Kalinga Veer Biju Patnaik, Utkal Gaurav Madhusudan Das and Shaheed Birsa Munda to mark the auspicious occasion. Utkal Divas is very close to the hearts of the people of Orissa. It was the untiring efforts of great leaders like Utkal Mani Gopabandhu Das, Utkal Gaurav Madhusudan Das, Maharaja Krishna Chandra Gajapati, Fakir Mohan Senapati and many other eminent personalities of the state that shaped the formation of Orissa as a separate state of Indian Union on 1st April 1936. It was formed out of Bihar and Orissa province with addition of Koraput and Ganjam from Madras Presidency on linguistic basis. Utkal Divas is celebrated not only across the length and breadth of the state, but also in many corners of the world as a tribute to the founding fathers and the realization of the aspirations of the people of Orissa. Our mind is our greatest asset. Let's train it to see opportunities instead of obstacles, said Mr. Atanu Bhaumik, Director in charge Rourkela Steel Plant, while addressing a huge gathering of senior officers and employees of the plant on the occasion of the annual performance review and award function held at Gopabandhu Auditorium on 1st April 2022. Commending the warrior spirit of the RSP Collective, the DIC said that it helped the plant finish the year 2021-22 with a record-breaking performance in spite of the second and third waves of the COVID-19 pandemic and make RSP the best integrated steel plant of SAIL. Elucidating about the milestones surpassed in production of hot metal, crude steel, saleable steel, techno-economics as well as profit, Mr. Bhaumik lauded the efforts of production units and the services units which worked in tandem and supported the production units in scripting these success stories. We dreamt, we set our goals. We worked hard with total commitment and we achieved. Our next dream is to see Rourkela Steel Plant winning the Prime Minister's trophy for the best integrated steel plant. It is very much achievable and we have to realize this dream, he emphasized. The DIC also touched upon the issues of utmost importance like safety, sustainable growth, tapping of new markets, increased volume of production and improved sales through value-added products and optimum resource utilization. Referring to the Vision 2030 roadmap of SAIL and the production targets, Mr. Bhaumik stressed upon the need of expediting new projects so as to enable RSP reach its full potential. In his concluding remarks, the DIC said, the road ahead is going to be tough. Let us internalize the credo that RSP is my organization and I shall walk the extra mile in all my endeavors for the development of my organization. Let's give due respect to our organization and be its brand ambassador. Earlier, the DIC lighted the ceremonial lamp and inaugurated the program. He was accompanied by Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, Executive Director Works, and Mr. P.K. Satpathy, Executive Director P&A, with additional responsibility of Executive Director Projects. The program commenced with a mellifluous rendition of Bande Utkala Janani. Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi made an elaborate presentation on the performance of the plant in 2021-22 and highlighted the commendable achievements of RSP in several areas. DIC, along with other dignitaries, presented awards to individual employees, teams and departments for their outstanding performance. The Blast Furnaces department bagged the Champion of the Year trophy for its stupendous performance, while Plate Mill was a runners-up of the event. Mr. Atanu Bhomik also released the annual business plan booklet. Mr. Shoibal Chakraborty, CGM in charge maintenance and chairman of organizing committee, welcomed the gathering, while Mr. Naresh Kumar, CGM in charge services, proposed a vote of thanks. Mr. Atish Chandra Sarkar, CGM quality, coordinated the prize distribution ceremony. Ms. Khushbu Mishra, manager RCL, and Mr. Shams Ghazali, assistant manager SPP, anchored the show. Notably, the mega annual event celebrates the accomplishments of the steel plant in the previous fiscal, felicitates the individual employees and departments for their contributions, and firms up the targets for the new financial year 2022-23. A grand felicitation ceremony was organized by SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant on 31st March 2022 to honor Professor Dr. Prokar Dasgupta, the prodigy from RSP family and recipient of the coveted Padma Shri Award 2022. The ceremony, organized in the auditorium of the IPG and Super Speciality Hospital, was attended by about 200 students and teachers from various schools of Rourkela, along with senior officers, young executives, doctors and paramedics of RSP. Mr. Atanu Bhomik, Director in charge SAIL RSP, was the chief guest of the program, while the other guests present were Mr. A.K. Kundu, Executive Director Mines, Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, Executive Director Works, Mr. A.K. Pradhan, Executive Director Projects, and Mr. P.K. Satpathy, Executive Director P&A. Mr. Atanu Bhomik felicitated Professor Dasgupta with a memento and uttariya, which was followed by a standing ovation by the audience. Speaking on the occasion, Professor Dr. Prokar Dasgupta shared his childhood memories associated with Rourkela, his friends, family, and above all, teachers of his school, and expressed how proud he feels to be a Rourkelite. Rourkela has given me the courage, strength, and resilience to excel in life, he said. While appreciating the greenery of the steel city, he elaborated how the city encourages the young minds to identify their inner potential and excel in the field of their choice. Professor Dasgupta kept the audience captivated and inspired during the candid interactive session with the curious students who had asked him questions ranging from how to have a balanced and focused life to questions related to the intricacies of cancer treatment and traits of a good doctor. Quoting the famous saying, "Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional," Professor Dasgupta advised the students to follow their passions and make every effort and sacrifices to reach the goal. While answering another query about success, Dr. Dasgupta said that happiness is always above success. Welcoming illustrious son of the steel city who has carved a name for himself in the world of medicine and also his schoolmate, Mr. Atanu Bhomik said, "Rourkela is famous for honing many youngsters who have excelled in national and international firmament in diverse fields." Exhorting the students to lay a firm foundation for the future right from the student career, Mr. Bhomik said, "I wish to see many more Dr. Prokar Dasguptas from amongst you, and we at RSP would look forward to felicitate you and take pride in your achievements." At the outset, Mr. P.K. Satpathy delivered the welcome address. Ms. Aradhana Patnaik, student of Ispat English Medium School Sector 20, anchored the event, while a formal vote of thanks was proposed by Ms. Pooja Rawat, Assistant Manager, Public Relation. That's all in this edition of Rourkela News. Namaskar.